Welcome back to Warwick High School. Eric Thomas and Warren Goodling with you here for the boys game between Warwick and Manheim Township. It is 1-2 Manheim on the road here tonight against 2-1 Warwick. Warwick's coming off a close loss the other night to Manheim Central in a game that was pretty nip and tuck the whole way. These are two teams, Coach, that lose a lot of players from last year's team. We all remember that LL final a season ago. That was tremendous at Manheim Township. That Saturday afternoon, place was packed, back and forth game. Manheim Township runs away with that thing at the end of it. These are two teams that have to replace a lot of key parts this season, and it's very early on, but Warwick, at least right now, looks like they might be a little bit better off, at least early in the season.
They have more returning players than does Manheim Township. Both of them were section champs last year, Warwick in Section 2, Township in Section 1. Both of them expect to win this year.
Yeah, they certainly do. This is a key game, obviously a crossover game. The month of December for these two teams is loaded, so important for both of these two teams to get a little bit of momentum here tonight. Specifically for Township, we'll take a look at their starting lineup quick. They're going to start Zach Hartz, averaging 5.3 points a game. Seth Miller's been the key for their offense through the first couple of games. He's averaging 9.3 points a game. Brock Olduck, 2.3 points a game. And then the front court is Zach Olduck and Mickey Stokes. Mickey Stokes also one of those guys that's averaging close to 10 points a game. Matt Johnson's had to kind of piece this together a little bit. There's no Tyler Crespo. There's no Ty Vicademici. There's none of these guys that he relied on last year down the stretch.
He had a lot of experience last year, and this year's young team has been a little bit turnover prone so far in the early going.
For Warwick, they're 2-1. We mentioned the game against Manheim Central a couple of nights ago. Their backcourt, they're going to go predominantly guard, same thing as they did last year. Tate Landis, Joey McCracken. Joey McCracken's picked up right where he left off. He had 11 against Manheim Central the other night. He had 11 against Central Dauphin in their tip-off tournament. He's also hit 2 threes. He's been red hot from the free throw line. He's averaging 9 points a game. McCracken is really how their offense is going to have to start.
Right, and Warwick does have the ability to have good balance. They have about 5 or 6 guys that can really pitch in the scoring, so we'll see how that unfolds.
Starting 5 rounded out, it's going to be Connor Adams. Connor Adams is averaging just under 10 a game. You got Cot Capella, who's averaging almost 8 a game, and then Caleb Schmitz, the leading scorer on this Warwick team, 11 points a game. So again, when you look at the pieces that these two teams have had early on, enough back for Warwick. They've gotten pretty good balance out of their starting 5 so far.
And Township's missing their center, starting center, Ben Mann, a 6'5 senior, who's on a football recruiting trip. He's verbally committed to Yale, and he's up there this weekend, so he'll be back next week.
Big loss in the front court. Ben Mann's been a star for the football team. We know that, but basketball just adds that presence inside that a lot of teams are looking for, especially early on in the season. You want to get your post players asserted. They're not going to have that option here tonight.
Right, so they'll miss him tonight, but they'll have to find other ways to account for that.
Should be a pretty good game here tonight. Crowd's packed. Student sections are packed. It feels like a playoff atmosphere. We're just in the beginning of the season right here. This is week 1, and it feels like it's a playoff-type atmosphere tonight.
These teams have normally been in Section 1, so they played home and away for the last number of years, and they're local rivals. They know each other. The Warwick coach played at Township, so it's a very good rivalry.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here for the national anthem, and then we will tip things off. It's Warwick and Manheim Township here tonight from Warwick High School. You're watching live coverage on LLHoops.com.
We have Caleb Goss, who played football for Warwick, and Andrew McCracken in the 11th grade. He is the All-State choir. Gentlemen.
So proud
It is loud. It is packed. Again, it feels like a playoff-type night here. It feels like March in here tonight.
It certainly does, and I think the fact that they had the girls' game first, the boys' game second, they didn't split attendance tonight. They're all here. So I think that helped the attendance tonight's event.
Again, for Manheim Township, it'll be Hartz, Miller, Oldock, and Stokes. And as Coach mentioned, no Ben Mann tonight for Township. He is up at Yale visiting his future home for college football. For Warwick, it's Landis, McCracken, Adams, Capella, and Schmitz. Manheim, of course, will be in the Road Navy. And we're underway here as McCracken controls it for Warwick. Right off the bat, Adams going to fire a three and knock it down. Check out, that was Capella who hit the three.
Yeah, Capella hit that one. Just a straight man-to-man. Both teams opening up, playing man-to-man defense.
What sort of thing do you tell your team early on in this game? It's two rivals. They just met a couple months ago. They've obviously played over the summer. Stokes going to fire. He's going to be off the mark there.
Well, I think right now you want to get good shots. I think that's the most important thing. Take care of the ball and get good shots.
McCracken will facilitate things for this team. Landis, nice crossover by Landis. Pinned up. Capella's open again.
Yep, missed that one. Little penetration by Landis, and Capella filled in behind him.
Oldock, who contributed last year, was a pretty good player for Matt Johns a season ago. That's going to stay with Township.
Yeah, you'll see Oldock expand his role this year. He'll handle the ball a little bit. He'll play like every position out there.
Manheim's still searching for that replacement for Tyler Crespo. We know how great that guy was.
Well, that's not going to happen this year, I don't think, as far as getting that type of play from somebody.
It's
but
going to have to be pieced together, no question.
Exactly. I mean, he was a starter out there for 4 years.
Oldock, tough move in the paint, and he is fouled. And that'll send Oldock to the free throw line to shoot a pair here. Matt Johns and Chris Christensen, obviously very tight. Christensen looked up to Matt Johns when they were assistants together. Oldock gets the first. He is shooting 66% from the line this season. This is not a great shooting team from the free throw line as Manheim. Only 69% on the season, and right there, 1 for 2.
Well, it's early, and they need to get to the foul line more to bring that percentage up.
That's again where Crespo, who would be so good at getting to that free throw line a season ago. McCracken. Capella had it on the wing there for a moment. Now Landis. Nice take by Adams all the way to the rack. No, and Capella's there to put it back in.
Yeah, Capella, he's a really athletic young man, and he'll score a lot of different ways. And there was an offensive rebound scorer.
Nice cut and reverse there by Miller. Can't connect. Got it back though. Miller off the window and in, and Manheim is finally on the board here with a field goal.
You see, there's a sophomore right there in Seth Miller, and he's actually played a lot better than a sophomore. He's had some big games already this year, so he's going to be a really good one for them.
5:45 to go here in the opening quarter. McCracken. Good double team there by Stokes and Miller.
Yeah, they double teamed the ball screen, and they had a really nice trap. They got a little bit too aggressive. And boy, you don't want to foul when you have a nice double team like that.
Too early to start talking about fouls, but without Mann, Stokes is your big tonight for Manheim. He's already got 1 foul. And no danger yet, obviously, but something to keep an eye on.
You don't want to get the second one in the first quarter.
Got that right. Landis. Warwick's doing a good job early on here at finding the open guy.
Well, they're getting a little penetration. They'll kick it right out to the shooter.
McCracken, Capella again. Right back to McCracken, who's short again. And there's Miller, who's been active on the glass here for Manheim in the early going. Oldock, good fake. Nice defense by McCracken that time. They're knocking away. It's actually going to go back to Warwick. That's off Oldock.
Bounced off his leg.
Seth Miller, we mentioned him. Season high 26 against Exeter on Tuesday.
Now already, this is my first chance of really watching him, and just in the first couple of minutes, he has that look that he's really going to be a nice player.
That's certainly something that Township is going to need the whole season. Get him going early on as Adams called for the travel there.
Well, you know, in high school basketball, any level of basketball, the point guard is so important. You know, he's got to be able to break defenses down. He's got to be able to run the offense. He's got to play good defense and not allow penetration. And he's got to be the team leader.
4.5 almost to go here. That's going to go back over to Warwick.
And that was just a little unforced turnover right there. And they had some issues against Central York in the turnover department.
So McCracken will run things here for the Warriors. And they will like it in his hands most of the time. Capella, nice pull up, no this time, and Stokes the rebound.
Yep. Nice move by Capella. He just missed a shot. He got in there, he elevated nicely.
Oldock. Nice, a lot of dribbling that time, and he's going to leave that right off the window. McCracken pulls down the board. Nice look ahead, and right out of his hands is Adams. Could not hang on to that one.
Well, he was looking to get that, what was going to happen next. You could see him take his eye off the ball there.
You're showing midseason form, by the way. Put that paw up to knock that one down.
Yeah.
Under 4 to go now in the first, and Miller with it for Manheim Township. Nice little backdoor to Oldock, and he lays it off the window and in. Tied up at 5 here as we approach 3.5 minutes to go in the first.
Yeah, that was a nice set play by Coach Johns. I mean, he saw the pressure on the wing, and usually when you hit the post man and the wing guy's being denied, that's an automatic backdoor.
Good matchup here with Miller and McCracken. It's Chase Yarborough who came in with the whistle. Number 11 there for Warwick. Adams, good ball movement again by Warwick. Tipped out of bounds, it'll stand this side.
See, neither team is playing with the post guy. It just spread the floor, dribble, penetrate, reverse the ball, get a little curl cut off the screen away. And you're going to get the three-pointers off the penetration.
This is going to be a theme, I think, for a lot of teams in this area, specifically District 3. Not a lot of bigs this year.
It really
across
isn't.
the board. It's going to be very wing or swing player oriented here most of the season. That's going to go off of Township and stay with Warwick here.
And there's probably going to be some team that plays the zone very well to try to stop all the movement on the offense.
Nice inbound of McCracken.
Nice shape up there.
Sure did. Burned himself up. McCracken's got his first 2 of the night. It's 7-5 Warwick.
There was a case where he set the first screen and then just shaped up when everybody went with the shooter. Now they have Odock down on the low post to see if he can get a touchdown there. Now he comes out.
They will pretty much move him anywhere in the offense. A little off balance that time. Can't connect. McCracken again the board. Two-point lead for Warwick here. That one way off the mark. Here comes Seth Miller. Open jumper on the way that time for Brock Oldock. No good.
One thing about Warwick is they will have the green light to shoot the three. And we've seen a number of guys already shoot it. There's your curl cut, shape up, reverse the ball.
Landis and now McCracken. He'll pull the trigger. Can't connect that time. Good battle there with Yarborough and Seifert. Going to go back to Township with 1:45 to go in the quarter. Last year in that LL final, that was a game in which Warwick did not shoot the ball well. They were only 18 of 46 from the floor, 39%. But that game really was back and forth as much as it could be with a team shooting that poor as Oldock's the board in.
It was a great game, and then I thought Tyler Crespo just sort of took over in the last 6 minutes of the game. He played outstanding on both ends of the court.
That's what we wait to find out. Really, it's early in the season, but that's what we wait to find out with this Township team is who's going to be that take charge guy as Yarborough has contact in the paint. That'll be against Township here with 1:17 to go in the first. So it's on Miller, and that is.
Oh, both teams have now gone to the bench.
JT Weaver is in for Manheim Township in place of Miller. Second team foul on Township. Each team's got 2 fouls here in the early going.
And then, again, Weaver's another sophomore out there for Township.
Yarborough. And now back up top to Capella as we approach 1 minute to go in the quarter. Landis, a pull-up, connects on that one. First field goal of the night for Tate Landis. 2-point lead again for Warwick.
Well, he has he's been schooled since he's a youngster from his father, and he's a heady point guard for a sophomore. There's another sophomore point guard out there.
Corner 3 that time, coming back the other way is Engel. And Manheim's grabbed a 1-point lead with under a minute to go here in the first quarter.
Well, so far this game is really evenly matched.
And about what we expected for the opening quarter.
Absolutely. I mean, they're both, spreading the floor. Now, Warwick's going to go for the last shot. They're going to run a little triangle delay and then see what they do off the last second play. They're going to get the ball to Landis.
It's down to 10 seconds to go.
And they run a double screen in the corner.
Three-pointer on the way. That was by Corbin Hurst, and that's a buzzer. Trying to throw one back up and in is Minnick, and that one falls short. So a pretty good first quarter for these two sides. 10-9. Warwick trailing Manheim Township here through one quarter. And a pretty well-played first quarter by both sides.
Yeah.
Go to the bench. Warwick started with the 3 right away. Teams try to fill each other out here.
Yeah, coaches weren't afraid to use their depth, and I didn't think it was real sloppy. I thought the teams were getting some good shots. They just didn't connect on some of them. But both teams, very similar styles, looking at that so far.
We have a full slate of basketball for you this season. And our coverage tonight brought to you by Dan Taylor Family Law. Is your will, durable power of attorney, and living will up to date? If not, you should see LLHoops.com sponsor Daniel K. Taylor. Dan can be reached at 717-949-6212 or see his ad on our website. He can initially speak to you over the phone or meet in his Lancaster office. Home appointments are available for the disabled. Big thanks to Dan for helping us out here throughout the season. Again, we have a full schedule for you coming up the rest of the way. Of course, Bruce Badgley, who had to call the girls' game for you earlier, he'll have some games down in Berks County this season. And then we're pleased to also bring you the LL Finals this year. That'll be a lot of fun coming up in Manheim Township in February. We'll have both the girls and the boys game, and they're tentatively scheduled for Valentine's Day weekend. Of course, who knows with the weather and all that crazy stuff that'll happen in February. We're due to, at some point, get something that's going to delay games here as we start the second quarter. And then as Hartz, who missed the jumper, Stokes the rebound there. Manheim keeps possession. Jumper again missed from the corner. That was Seifert, and Warwick comes away with it.
Yeah, Caleb Smith with the rebound down there, and he almost got a layup there, but he got fouled.
Yep, nice give underneath by McCracken. Schmitz will go to the line to shoot a pair here with 7:32 to play in the half. It's Dan Engel's first foul, and that is the third on Manheim. High arcing shot by Schmitz. Connects, and we're tied at 10. Can't connect on the second. Loose ball is going to be battled for. Pulled out of there by Township. It's a much more controlled pace for Manheim here through these first couple of games this season, too. This was a team that would run up and down the floor last year.
Right.
Good stick back that time by Seifert.
Well, Crespo could get by people real fast. He had the ability to break any type of defense down, and they're working a little bit harder to get their shots right now this year.
Schmitz with it. Good matchup with Stokes up top. Of course, Stokes part of that tremendous football season that Mark Evans had at Manheim Township. Taken there that time by Connor Adams. We got a foul. That'll be on Zach Hartz. That'll be his first. That'll be the 4th team foul in Manheim here. Matt John's going to go back to his bench. Bring back Brock Oldock.
He's got Mickey Stokes in there. He's got Zach Oldock out right now.
Floater by McCracken.
Nice rebound by Stokes right there.
Yeah, it was. Miller, Stokes again. Seifert. They're working in the corner. And now Miller. Good pick off that time by McCracken.
Yeah, they tried to throw it inside to Seifert, and they got a deflection. So the post feed didn't work that time.
Landis. Again, good ball movement here by Warwick as they bring it back up top, and McCracken will slow things down here as we're under 6 to go in the half. Landis open. Good. Rebound that time by Schmitz. Couldn't get it, got it again, and he puts it back in.
Yeah, that's what he did a lot last year as a sophomore. He hit that weak side rebound and get an offensive rebound.
Very consistent scorer so far. He had 16 the other night against Manheim Central. Angle shot swatted out of there by Landis. Somehow Seifert is able to pick up the loose ball and put it in. So to go back and forth again, it's a 2-point lead for Township. Pull up that time by Capella is good again.
That's a tough shot. I mean, he pump fake, took a couple dribbles, and then elevated up. That's going to be hard for a defender to stop, especially gets to the spot where he wants to go to.
Brock Oldock, Seifert now. Stokes in the corner. They're not going to want him to have a look at that in traffic. Miller. Pinball right off Landis, right back in the hands of Miller. Tough move in the paint by Miller is no good.
That was a tough move in there. He did a nice job of keeping the ball in there and going up strong. He just missed it. But he can get to the foul line with some more moves like that.
Landis had the room there, but didn't pull the trigger. Somehow found Adams. They go back up top, Kapala. And now Adams again. And Adams got held up there on the near baseline here by Angle. That'll be Angle's second foul. That'll be the 6th on Township here.
Yeah, they got a nice, got some nice minutes from their bench there. They really did. I mean, both teams are playing. I mean, a lot of newcomers out there, but they sort of know each other.
15 foul at Township. Schmitz and now Landis again. Interesting, too, that Warwick really was facilitating everything through McCracken in the first, and now it's more of a balance. Everybody's getting a touch. As Kapala again will knock it down. He is off to a great start here tonight. He's got 9 of the 16 Warwick points.
He's a matchup problem because he's quicker than a bigger guy, and he's stronger than a smaller guy. So I think you can get him isolated a little bit and let him go one-on-one because he can nail that pull-up J.
Oldock, corner, it's Stokes. He is open, and he can't connect on that one. And then Zach Oldock underneath. A little too aggressive going for the board that time. He's going to pick up the foul. Now that'll be the 6th on Township here with 3:29 to go in the first half.
That was a good pass by Zach Oldock. He got in there, drew the whole defense. Mickey Stokes just missed a shot, but you can't have a problem with that possession.
Schmitz.
Okay, so Township is a double team in any ball screen.
Stokes the rebound. Now we see Township push it a little bit here. Oldock out in the corner. Miller, no, and the rebound is yanked down by Adams. I think the thing that we're seeing early on here, too, from Warwick is, again, I go back to the point that everybody on the floor can handle the ball, too. There's no true big.
It's a 5-out offense, and you know, both teams are playing like 3-point line in. If you notice the defense, it's like they're not going to take too many gambles out there. They're going to make them work for everything they get.
McCracken and now Landis again. Adams, Landis, McCracken.
All right, here's the ball screen. See if they double team it. There's the double. There's the slip man.
Landis had it. Tough move off the defender, and they're going to wave that off. Warwick's played a pretty clean first half here.
No, it's been well played. I mean, what impresses me the most right now is both teams are playing good, solid position man-to-man defense. They're not gambling. They're not hacking. Okay, now here's Warwick in a 3-2 zone.
What's benefit as they fire the three from the corner? That's going to be Oldock who knocks it down. So zone buster right away.
Well, that might get you out of it right there. I mean, I was just talking about their great man-to-man defense, and then they went to zone and they got lit up for a three. And Township was smart to put a shooter in the corner.
Kapala again, that was pure. Boy, he is on some kind of run here early on in this half.
No, he's just taking what's available and he's being aggressive with it, but he's not forcing shots. He's a good player.
H&L Team Sales provide uniforms, team shops, and other clothing and equipment to schools and teams throughout the Lancaster-Lebanon League, York, and Berks region. Contact H&L at 717-392-3010 or online at www.hlteamsales.com. So we've seen a little bit of everything here. I mean, Capella has just been phenomenal early on. He's got 12 of the 19 for Warwick here, and guys in his face. He's coming off screens. He's attacking the glass. He's handling the ball. He's doing a little bit of everything here in the first half.
Well, he's got he's a strong young man, and he elevates on his shot. And that's going to be a tough matchup because he's going to be strong. Like I said before, he's stronger than the guard. He's quicker than a big guy. So Township is having a hard time figuring out who's going to guard him.
I'll have to come up with somebody quick. He's been the story early on here, at least offensively, for Warwick. This has been a really good first half here, as expected. And these two teams get these crossover games early on in the season. This is obviously a rivalry, and we talked a little bit about the LL final a season ago. Hartz and now Oldock up top. 90 seconds to go in the half. Let's tip that out of bounds. That is going to go back to Warwick.
Well, there they tried to isolate Odak out there out front, and he lost the ball.
Open. Three-pointer by Minnick is no good. Rebound control by Township.
Like I said, there's no hesitation. If you're open on the three, you shoot it. And that's what the Warwick kids do.
Nice steal by Landis. Landis to the bucket. Nice adjustment to lay it up and in. Second field goal for Tate Landis. Biggest lead of the night for Warwick at 4.
Well, Warwick got out of that zone. They were in it for one possession. They went back to man-to-man. They got a steal and a layup.
Stokes, runner with that right hand is no good. Minnick got the hand in there for the rebound, and then up ahead quickly to Schmitz. He is fouled by Oldock. That'll be Oldock's second. Schmitz will go back to the free throw line to shoot a pair with 43 seconds to go in the half.
Well, that's a tough call because that's the second. He's going to probably have to come out now unless you want to keep him in on offense. Try to get him out on defense, but you don't want the third in the first half.
Schmitz now 1 of 3 at the line tonight.
He entered the game shooting 30% from the foul line. So, again, he's coming off football, and he just needs a couple repetitions in these next couple weeks to get his foul stroke down.
Yeah, Warwick a little bit more extended than what Manheim was. Both made good runs. Schmitz made both, missed both. Manheim Township got knocked out in the district semis. Warwick a little bit longer of a run. Angle, Seifert. Angle now. Offensive foul is going to give it back to Warwick.
Yeah, that's a tough turnover at this point because you're down 4, you had the ball, you're trying to cut it. Now you got to go back and play defense, and I think Warwick will probably hold for the last shot. I might be wrong. Let's see what they do.
Landis.
It looks like they're playing, but
down to 15.
Well,
McCracken all the way.
They were playing.
Yeah, they were. Seifert the rebound. He picked up the foul, by the way, on the other end. Now Miller with 7 seconds. They can hold for the final.
Yep.
Miller out to the corner. That is picked off by Yarborough. McCracken's going to have a shot. He's going to fire it at the buzzer, and that's going to be short. So a good first half here. Warwick has a 4-point lead at the half, 21-17. We'll run down the statistics and get you set for the second half as we're watching coverage of Warwick and Manheim Township right here on LLHoops.com.
Just a minute, we'll have the
Halftime here at Warwick High School. Eric Thomas, Warren Goodling with you, 21-17. Warwick in front of Manheim Township. Really well played first half. Back and forth. Township had a lead for a while. Warwick there at the end of the second quarter. Got things going offensively, and it's been the Kai Capella show. I mean, he's got 12 of the 21 points for Warwick in the first half.
He does, and the impressive thing that I've seen is he gets it right out of the offense. It's not like he's out there forcing anything. He gets it very naturally, and he's not turning down opportunities, so he's a good player.
Who's impressed you more on the floor right now? Is Warwick, the way they've been running their offense? Township, for a little bit, looked like they were trying to piece things together or figure it out, but they got hot there late in the first quarter and into the second quarter, and then Warwick comes right back. Everybody's been touching the ball for Warwick in the first half.
Township's still trying to find their pieces. Like Coach Johns' team right now will improve, and about a couple weeks from now, you'll see them just make some leaps and bounds. Right now, he's just trying to find the right combination, and Warwick's a little bit ahead of them, I think, as far as the combinations go.
It's been a pretty good battle on the boards. Obviously, Manheim does not have Ben Mann. We've talked about that, so they're down one guy in the post anyway. Stokes has played pretty well. Oluk's got 2 fouls, though. What adjustments would you make if you're Manheim in the second half?
Well, I think, number one, you got to be concerned about Capella because he's getting the right mismatch and he's getting that little 15-footer, so you got to somehow get him out of the game. Be aware of that. And on offense, I think you got to just, keep moving the ball and seeing what you can take advantage of. Right now, I think they've had a few turnovers that have resulted in baskets the other way. So they got to eliminate the turnovers and get a good shot every time.
Warwick's not been as deep on their bench. They haven't really been forced to go to their bench as much, but they're getting, it seems like everybody who's played for them in the first half, they're getting something out of everybody who's been on the floor.
Well, like I said, I think that's because they're a little bit ahead maybe of Township at this point, but we'll see. I mean, the second half, Township can still win this game.
What would you do anything different if you're Warwick? I mean, they moved the ball so well. They found the open shooters. They penetrated. They kicked. They rebounded well enough. They played pretty good defense.
I just think Warwick plays their game. I think they're very confident in playing their game. I don't think they're going to do anything special to win this game except just play Warwick basketball.
Our next broadcast here on LLHoops.com is going to come your way on January 10th. So we're actually off for the Christmas break after tonight. It's been nice to be with you for one game anyway. But the next game we have coming up is going to be Hempfield and Manheim Township, and then we have a whole slate of games the rest of the way. We got a couple minutes here until we tip things off in the second half. The league itself this year, there's a lot of, I don't want to say questionable teams, but there's a lot of teams that we don't know a lot about yet. McCaskey would be one of them. Lebanon might be one of them. Right. And then there's a couple teams like Township who we expect to, at some point, they'll be able to, they're going to be fine. They're going to compete for Section 1. Warwick obviously is going to compete for their section. Cedar Crest, it seems like right now, is the team that is, they've got the most pieces next to Warwick coming back. What do you see the league looking like here?
Well, I think the Cedar Crest question will be the guard play. I mean, when they're really good, they have great guard play. I know they have inside guys, but let's see if they have that really good guard play, because that's when they're really good, that's what happens. Hempfield, again, they're trying to piece their team together. They have a whole new lineup out there, and they're trying to just piece it together week by week. McCaskey's the X factor. Penn Manor's 4-0. They're playing.
Does that surprise you early on?
They're just playing well together. I saw them last night. Larry's Bellew's getting everything out of them they have, and they're playing well together, and they have confidence. And they've worked very hard in the offseason.
Yeah, you mentioned Cedar Crest. They replaced Horn and Dunlop, who were two integral parts to that team. They might have the best front court, though, of anybody in Lancaster Lebanon.
Exactly. But like I said, I just think they're really good when they have their guards, and we'll see how their guards do. Some of the other teams, Lancaster Catholic's always going to be a factor. Lampeter Stroudsburg's going to be a factor. Elko has a really nice team this year.
I was going to get there with you. Yep. They brought a ton of talent back from a team that was really good a season ago. Do they have enough pieces there that they can make a run?
Well, I think we'll find out when they go through their section. I think Columbia has a pretty nice little team. They're a small school, but they competed very well against Lancaster Catholic just the other week.
Columbia and Anvil Cleona going on tonight. Andy Herr's got coverage of that on LLHoops.com, so you want to make sure you go and check that out after we're done here. We got 21-17 here in the first half, and Warwick with the 4-point lead. Warren Goodling, Eric Thomas with you here tonight, and this should be a pretty good second half here.
Yeah, and let's not forget about Elizabethtown, because they made some noise last year, and they're going to try to make some more noise this year. They got a big opening game tonight, I think.
My good friend Rocky Priest watches this and didn't hear me mention them. Sorry.
Oh, I was thinking about Rocky because I know Big Lee Eckert's over there, one of my former players, is the assistant coach, and I know they put a lot of work in, and I know they're expecting to have a really nice season.
Yeah, they're a team, too, to keep an eye on, especially later in the season, because I think they're built to make a nice run when all is said and done with the season here. They could be the team that comes out of the pack here maybe as a favorite when that LL tournament starts. Long way to go, though. This is going to be a fun season, though. As we get started here in the second, right away, Warwick goes inside.
Well,
and Schmitz knocks down the open shot there off the glass.
Township came out in the 3-2 zone, and Warwick did a great job of finding Schmidt inside.
Biggest lead of the night for Warwick here at 6. Township against in the navy and Warwick in the white and red. Packed house here tonight from Warwick High School. Stokes, good move. Kept his balance and used the window.
Now, I think Stokes, once he gets that feel, will recognize that he can do that a lot more. He's fitting into the system real nice, but I think right now Stokes, as he gets playing time, is going to be able to do that.
Tate Landis on the other end knocks down the 3.
I've been really impressed with Landis, his floor game and his ability to make a shot. He's a nice-looking sophomore.
He has given Warwick a little everything here in this one. We're going to get a travel on Township. 7th turnover of the night, first of the half here.
All right, let's see what Township does. I think they're going to go back to the man-to-man. Yep, they were 0 for 2 in defensive stops on that 3-2 zone. And there they get a stop right there.
Good pick off that time by Hartz. Hartz with a tough drive out to the corner now, Oldock. Possession here.
Yeah.
Short by Hartz that
shot.
time. They need to, it would seem like they need Miller, I think, to rekindle some of that magic he had the other night.
Yeah, I think right now, I think McCracken is doing a very nice job on Odak, one-on-one defense. And they're doing a nice job on Miller right now, too, one-on-one defense.
We go back to Township here with 6:07 to go in the third quarter. And Miller, as we mentioned, had just 2 points against Hazleton, scoreless against Central York, and then he blows up against Exeter.
Yeah, well, when you blow up like that, believe me, the coach recognizes that, and they're trying to stop you.
Landis using that body and the angle to knock it home. And a timeout called by Matt Johns. Matt Johns not happy about the call on the other end here. He has given an earful to the official. Timeout called here with 5:46 to go in the third quarter. And again, it's the largest lead of the night for Warwick at 7 points. Haller Enterprise, if you're having trouble with your plumbing, heating, cooling, or electrical systems in your home, if so, give Haller Enterprises a call. They provide expert design, installation, repair, and maintenance for your plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical, and water conditioning systems. Call today at 888-652-1500 or visit www.hallerent.com. Eric Thomas and Warren Goodling here with you. 28-19 Warwick. Matt John's not happy about that possession on this end down here. He was really giving the official an earful. Lucky he didn't get teed up there after that timeout call.
Yeah, he certainly made his point. But, the official did a nice job, just walked away.
John's still barking out instructions. Manheim's got an interesting schedule coming up over Christmas. They're going to head up to State College to be a part of the Kiwanis tournament. Their first game is against Free Air Charter. That's always a good tournament. State College always brings in 2 really nice teams, usually from Pittsburgh and Philly. And this year they go Manheim Township and Free Air are 2 of them. That'll be a good non-conference test back-to-back days during the week, too. So that's a Thursday-Friday tournament coming up right after Christmas. Or Friday-Saturday tournament, I beg your pardon. Miller drives, a lot of contact there with Adams.
And that's what Miller's going to have to do because Adams is doing a really nice job on him. And Miller's got to get to the foul line. But driving in there like that is a good way to loosen up the defense a little bit.
It's a 9-point lead for Warwick. Township is in need of a bucket here as we hit 5:20 to go in the third. Miller getting a lot of contact. Hartz.
Right now, it's all about the Warwick defense.
Stokes off balance.
See, that's the X factor right there. That's what I'm talking about. Mickey Stokes has the ability to take his guy to the basket one-on-one, and he just made 2 super moves.
Adams on the other end. That was tipped and knocked away and picked off by Township. Stokes' entry pass is picked off. Here comes McCracken. McCracken all the way. Switched hands. Nice move by McCracken. His 4th points of the night. 9-point lead for Warwick. Miller, you just mentioned it.
Yeah,
there's the take right there. Miller's going to go to the line to shoot too.
You're not going to shoot jump shots against a guy that's really up into you. You're going to have to challenge him, take him to the basket, and get some foul calls.
It's on Connor Adams. That is his second. That is the second on Warwick here in the 3rd.
Connor Adams is not going to give him an open jump shot. It's just the way it is.
Miller hits the first free throw.
So that's what Seth Miller, as a sophomore, that's what he's learning early in the season. Okay, hey, he had 26 the other night, right? He's getting some defensive focus from the other team. They know about him.
Miller knocks down the second one. Miller only attempted 7 free throws through the first 3 games. First 2 here tonight. He's 7 of 9 in the season. Best free throw shooter in this Manheim team.
Yeah, and he's gonna learn how to get there more.
Yarborough, who was in at the whistle. Nice dump off to Schmitz. Schmitz has put together a nice night as well. He's got 7 now.
Well, see, that's what Schmidt does. You know, he'll slash in there when there's some penetration. He'll catch the ball and finish.
Holdock bumps off McCracken. Can't get it to roll home. And a loose ball again, controlled by the Warriors.
That was a determined drive by Odak, but I thought, nice pass.
Yep, Yarborough lays it up and in. First field goal of the night for Chase Yarborough. It's the biggest lead of the night at 11 for Warwick.
Yeah, but what a great pass by Landis.
There's Miller again.
Yep.
The basket and the foul.
Yep.
That's going to be on Landis. That'll be his first.
See, you got 2 sophomore guards here right now that are really impressing me. Like, you can see Miller just growing up here the last couple minutes. And Landis, he's got the savvy of a senior.
Hartz, and they were wrestling for the ball there. It's going to be a jump ball, and the arrow is going to favor Township. It's a big possession right here for Township. They're down by 9 now. They can cut this to 7 or 6. They got a little bit of momentum on their side here too, so this is a key possession.
That nice defense by Capella there on the play where they get the shooter the ball.
The ball movement, Oldak in the corner, McCracken the rebound. Good shot that time, good possession.
No, it was a good penetration by Miller. He kicked it out, one more pass. They got an open shot, they missed it.
Landis. Oh, nice find to Schmitz. Underneath. Reversed his position. Lays it in again. 9 for Schmitz.
Well, you're seeing the Warwick offense now and the teamwork clicking together. You're seeing that happening right now.
Loose ball bumped into the official. Hartz picks it back up. 2:40 to play here in the 3rd.
And they've stepped up their defensive intensity a little bit. I think McCracken, again, has done a great job on Odak.
Strong take to the bucket that time by Engel.
Yeah, that was a much-needed bucket.
Fights the crowd momentarily. It's still a 9-point lead. And you can make that 12 as the other end, Capella again. His 3rd 3 of the night, 39-27 Warwick.
Yeah, but Yarborough just had a little bit of penetration. He knew exactly where Capella was, found him.
Drive by Stokes, and that's going to roll home. Stokes starting to heat up a little bit too. He's got 6 now. 10-point lead.
Yeah, Stokes has been aggressive. He's trying to keep him in the ball game. He has the ability to take him to the basket.
McCracken, pull up 3. Got it! First three of the night. 1:34 to go, and it's all Warwick here in the third quarter. Tryouts for the LA Elite Spring 2020 AAU basketball season will be held on February 22nd and March 8th, 2020. For more information and tryout registration, please visit www.laelit3.org or call Matt Overbaugh at 484-354-4631. So this lead for Warwick is 13, the biggest of the night. And again, the ball movement, they have shot the ball extremely well in this game. It's all clicking for them right now.
They're playing very well together. What can I say? They're just playing well together, and they're also hitting the open shots. I mean, they're getting some inside scoring too from Schmidt. So it's not just all threes; they're getting their share of inside buckets too.
Very smart offensive attack for this Warriors team. You know, that's not to say that Manheim's not playing well either. The shots just aren't falling for the Township right now. That's been the key.
Yeah, it's all about. I mean, I think the Warwick defense. The Warwick's effort on defense has been outstanding.
Pull-up three by McCracken that time is no good. Yarborough the rebound, gets it right back to him. He goes right back inside to Yarborough, off the window, too strong. Hart's the rebound. Quick look ahead angle, pull-up three. Yes. Boy, did Township need that. Angle's second three of the night. He has 8. It's back to 10.
Yeah, he's earning some more playing time, I think, tonight. That was a big shot.
McCracken is going to slow it down here and appear to hold for the final shot. Under 30 seconds to go now in the quarter. It's a 10-point lead for Warwick. Again, a very, very well-played game here for this early in the season.
No, both teams are. I think this third quarter, Warwick's found themselves a little bit here after that loss the other night.
McCracken and now Yarborough. Capella back to McCracken, three-pointer at the gun. Got it! Joey McCracken again! Second three of the quarter. He's up to 10 points, and his team's got a 13-point lead as we will go to the fourth quarter. Warwick and Manheim Township here tonight on LLHoops.com. 13-point lead for the Warriors. Tonight's game brought to you by Nationwide Insurance. Parents, if you have children who are driving or getting ready to drive, Nationwide is here to help. Call the Stephen Edward Lewis Agency in Millersville to find out how they keep your costs low and help teach your children how to drive safer with the Nationwide Smart Ride program. This program includes accident forgiveness, so if your new driver does have an accident, you won't lose your insurance or suffer an expensive rate surcharge. Please contact the Stephen Edward Lewis Agency for additional information, 717-872-2466. So we're through three here. Warwick's got a 13-point lead. McCracken at the buzzer. And this is the issue that teams might run into against this Warwick team, too. Capella starts hot. Everybody else starts getting involved. And all the shots start falling for everybody else, too. This is a dangerous Warwick team we're seeing early on.
What I said earlier is they have the ability to have balance. And they don't care who scores as long as Warwick scores. And that's the way they seem to play right now. And like Capella, who's been really had a great night, he had a little shot there, but he gave it to McCracken for a better shot, and he knocked down the three. So, impressive third quarter by Warwick. And even though Township is down, there's still some bright spots out there. It's going to take a little longer for Township this year to get themselves together than it is for Warwick.
It's a Warwick team that before the month of January has got a pretty brutal clip. Tonight, obviously, here against Township, they're at Hempfield Monday, McCaskey on Wednesday, Cedar Crest next Friday, and then the 26th and 28th, they go Garden Spot and Lancaster Catholics as Tate Landis goes to the window and lays it in. He is having a great night. He's got 11.
You know, like I know he's scored some points, but it's his floor game and his defense that has really impressed me.
Bulldogs shot no good, but Seifert's right there to put it in. Seifert's got 6. Yeah, I figured you'd look for some of the little things that are out there. You're right about that. That's an impressive. Warwick's just done a lot of everything here tonight as Yarborough on the take is fouled.
No, I mean Landis, he hasn't had many breathers either. I mean, he's been out there and playing good D, running the show.
Fouls on Dan Angle. That's his third, I beg your pardon. That is the third, or rather the first, on Township here in the second half. Catch and shoot off the inbound by Yarborough is no good, and Landis the rebound.
Landis gets the rebound. So now he rebounds.
Now, you mentioned the little things that he does. It's just a gritty. He's a good defender, smart.
Yeah, he runs the show as a sophomore, and Coach Christensen, he just turned the show over to him, and he's doing a great job.
Reminds you a lot of a guy like Aaron Kraft from Ohio State. Does everything. Just put the ball in his hands, and he does everything. But Chase Yarborough is going to knock down that three, and Warwick is just putting on a shooting clinic here in the second half. 16-point lead on Township.
Yeah, they're getting good shots.
Angle comes back the other way along on that three. Oduk the rebound. And Miller this is the guy I think that has to take control here of this game late. Can't connect on the runner though. And you hate to. Everybody is such a victim for recency bias sometimes too when you look at these teams and all that, but you can't help but be impressed with what Warwick's done here. I mean, this is week one. We're in essentially week one of the high school basketball season here.
Right. No, they've this second half. They've really stepped it up. They've stepped it up. They've taken the opportunity and saying, you know what, we're gonna get better here this half.
And remember, we were here early in the season last year too, and this Warwick team was not what they became late in the season. They were good, but they did not. They played pretty well that night against Cedar Crest, but it wasn't what we saw later in the season. They kind of molded into a great team as the season went on, and we're seeing a lot different team as McCracken fires another one. It's no good, but we're seeing another element or another level of this team, and a lot of that's going to be the experience. A lot of that's going to be the fact they have a championship pedigree on their team with guys like McCracken.
And they're still young. They're still pretty young. The thing I never liked about the crossover games is like, okay, you're in Township's shoes. You lose this game on the road. You don't have a chance to play them at home, like 4 weeks from now.
One and done. Yep.
Yeah. So that's one thing about the crossovers that you don't like. But
see him in February.
Maybe see him in the playoffs.
Schmitz. Nice cut. Capella.
I mean, what Warwick's done a nice job of. Very few times they've taken a bad shot. Okay, now there's just a low frustration foul. He missed that shot. I know he knows he can make that shot, but they've taken very little not many bad shots. They've worked the ball to get a good shot.
Yeah, you mentioned the X factor in this entire league could be McCaskey. That's going to be an interesting matchup on Wednesday night with this Warwick team and McCaskey.
I always felt that they were the X factor every year because like there was a lot of years you're going to have to beat them. There's always going to be the X factor, McCaskey, and then there's going to be another team that is built for that particular year. But it could be wide open. But I think the first week or two you're going to get a feel for how things might develop.
30-second timeout called by Manheim Township. Pat Klein, State Farm sponsors tonight's broadcast as well. Special thanks to Pat of State Farm for sponsoring LL Hoops live streaming. Give Pat a call for all your insurance needs at 717-284-3107. Pat is based in Quarryville, Pennsylvania. Again, we won't be back on the air until January, so January 10th is our next game. And we will have Hempfield and Manheim Township in that one for you. That'll be a fun one coming up. And then the rest of our schedule this season, we have a couple of really good games due up. Columbia Lancaster Country Day should be interesting. That's in the middle of January. Eton and Warwick, that'll be a good game coming up later on in the season as well. And then we'll conclude with McCaskey and Cedar Crest in the regular season. So who knows if X Factor and possible favorite meeting there late in the season. And then we'll have the LL Finals for you coming up in February, both the boys and the girls games for Manheim Township. We'll go the other way here with Warwick getting the ball with 4:04 to play. Matt John still giving an earful to the officials. What's your theory on working the officials? When you're down 16, I mean, are the officials going to let you go most times and just kind of let you vent?
You can't work the officials down 16 because it's not going to do you any good. You have to coach your team. and you know, you have to stay as a coach. You have to stay in the motivational phase.
What was your point cutoff for giving an earful to him? 2?
Usually,
3?
for the most part, usually people might tend to differ from this statement, but most of the time at the end of the first half.
That's an interesting point.
You do your work in the first half, and then the second half, you need to just coach your team.
You hope that your point got across in the first half, and maybe they listened to you a little bit.
Yeah, because if you're doing it in the third and fourth quarter, other than asking for an explanation or giving them a dirty look, but there's just there's a way to go about it without causing a lot of problems.
McCracken hits the front end. McCracken on the season, 7 of 10, now 8 of 11 shooting. I remember seeing a couple of games that you coached in, though, back in the day where you would have had every right, and I think you know what game I'm talking about, every right to go after an official. McCracken makes the second one. I'm gonna cut the comments off of that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
52-34, Warwick in front of Manheim Township. Angle. Safe for it.
Nice rebound, huh?
Capella,
that rebound.
He is all over the place tonight. Adams, a lot of contact, and Adams gets it to drop. And this is his first made field goal of the night. 20-point lead for Warwick.
Now, did Adams play football?
I can't answer that for you. I was stuck in mid-pen territory for the football season. Did not see. I saw one LL team this season, and that was Cedar Crest, and that was the opening round of districts as Adams makes the free throw. Chris Christensen's going to work some of his reserves in here. Cam Hess is into the game along with Desmond Taylor, 3 and 13 respectively. We'll stay on this side of the floor here. By the way, tonight's the mini-thon here, so both Manheim Township and Warwick have a table outside the gym lobby to collect donations. Whichever school raises the most money by the end of the third quarter, so that just happened, of the boys' game wins. Members of the school's administrative team were out there along with the superintendent, principal, athletic director. That raises money. They'll select a future date to wear the shirt of the school that collected the most money and post a picture on Twitter. So a little bit of a wager there. There's also baked goods out there, and they had a half-court shot here at halftime. Great night for both schools, an important cause that our students work hard to support. Andy Herr, by the way, tells me that Adams did play football, so there is the answer to your question.
Okay. I mean, the reason I asked that is because he took that last one to the hole like a football player. He just went strong, made the shot. I mean, the future's bright here at Warwick. And, Township, they just have to regroup, keep getting better.
I am stunned, by the way, that Andy Herr would know something about Warwick High School. McCracken has it as runner 2.5 to go now. Nice runner by McCracken and falls. Well, he's had a really good second half shooting. And the other way, we get a lot of contact.
0.
Going to the hole.
Landis.
And that's going to send Angle.
Is that who you like?
JT Weaver.
I like him.
Yeah, Tate Landis will be our player of the game, by the way. We'll just go ahead and mention that now. Warwick, by the way, has won the mini-thon. So that means representatives from Manheim Township will have to wear Warwick gear. That's always a fun day. JT Weaver hits the front end. Yeah, we'll go ahead and tell you right now, Tate Landis is going to be our player of the game. as we're going to see some reserves come in here for both sides. A little bit of everything here from the sophomore guard tonight.
No, I really liked this game. You might have gotten that impression.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I really liked this game. This is the first I saw him in an extended period of time playing, other than a JV game last year, and I've heard about him, and boy, he's a very heady player.
Desmond Taylor's pass is picked off. Weaver running the floor here. Is under 2 minutes to go. This has been all Warwick here in the second half. And some of the JV players in for Township. Seifert is still out there as well. Weaver had some time in the first half as well. We approach 90 seconds to go. And the turnover here, and that'll go back to Warwick with 1:36 to play.
I agreed with that call. I thought he did travel.
Down to 90 seconds. Good crowd on hand tonight. Felt like a playoff atmosphere at the start. Warwick has served notice at least through 1 week of the season.
Well, I mean, they had a little hiccup the other night at Manheim, but I think they took that and learned from it, and they grew from it.
How important is that early on in the season, too? You get a game like that, Ryan Fink misses the three, gets it right back.
Well, I just think it was they went to Mid-Penn last weekend and won 2 games, and they probably felt that they were, pretty good. So it's all about staying focused at this point.
Kyle Dutton will lay it up and in for his first points of the night.
Respect your opponent each and every night and stay focused.
So this Warwick team will wear out the clock here with 30 seconds to go. They're going to roll to a victory here tonight. Dylan Roberts missed that one. JT Weaver has it now. Weaver. And we're just going to play out the string here. Nice three-pointer knockdown there. 12 seconds to go, and Warwick's going to go to 3-1. Manheim Township will fall to 1-3. Crossover matchup here tonight was controlled as we're going to foul here with 0.6 to go.
Backcourt ball.
Backcourt violation, beg your pardon. And with 0.6 to go, that'll do it. So an impressive night for Warwick.
Yeah, very impressive.
They get the crossover victory, and Dotton will fire one more shot there, and that will do it. Final score 57-41. Warwick over Manheim Township. As we'll go to our post-game show here, we will get Tate Landis over here for our player of the game interview. And just some thoughts. I mean, really, really impressive shooting by Warwick in the second half. But you mentioned early on in the game just all the small things that they were doing all added up. You saw good ball movement, good defense, good rotation off the ball, good rebounding, a little bit of everything from this Warwick team tonight.
I just think they're a little further ahead than Manheim Township is. They had to replace some people at Warwick, but they had some experience coming back that was able to plug some of the holes. So they did a nice job, especially that second half. They just took their game up. Township still trying to find themselves. And
Chris Christensen certainly is going to be happy about coming off that loss to Manheim Central, I beg your pardon, and then to come right back and win this game here. We're going to get Tate Landis in here for a couple of comments here tonight. Tate, you can swing on over here. Yeah, come on over and have a seat. There you go. Congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you.
How important?
Thank you.
Get you to stand up here. Yep. There's Dell and Tate Landis and our player of the game. We always award the T-shirt to the player of the game. Let's talk a little bit about the first half because you guys come out. Kai hits that big shot to get things rolling here. Your offense very much in sync. You guys are able to bounce back off of a tough loss to Manheim Central. How big was that tonight?
Yeah, we had a lot of energy. Student section, good first opener. We had a chip on our shoulder from Wednesday. There's a lot of energy going.
And obviously a rival, too. You guys played each other in the LL final a season ago. It's a crossover matchup. You won't see them again unless you meet them in the tournament coming up in February. But it has to feel good. You guys feel like you're playing at a little bit better of a level early on in the season than you were maybe a year ago.
Yeah, that's right. Record proves that, but we're playing as a team. That's all that matters.
Tough schedule for your team. Hempfield coming up next week along with McCaskey and then Cedar Crest, and then a pretty good clip over the Christmas holiday with Garden Spot and Lancaster Catholic. So how big is it for you guys to get off to this 3-1 start?
It's huge. We got a lot of tough games coming up. We got to stay together, put time in practice, and keep going hard.
No selfishness on the floor either. McCracken gets his shots. Capella gets his shots. You get your shots. Schmitz gets his. Everybody got involved for your team tonight.
Got to play together. That's how you do it.
All right, that's Tate Landis, our player of the game here, LL Hoops player of the game. We're going to get Chris Christensen over here, too, as well. Congratulations to you, sir. Yep, have a good one. We'll talk to
you too.
Warwick's head coach here as he offers a little bit of congratulations to his star guard. Coach, congratulations to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Just asked Tate there, I mean, how big, just coming off that loss the other night to Manheim Central, how big is it to come back and win a rivalry game going away here tonight?
Yeah, we wanted to come back out. We talked a lot about practices. That wasn't us, and more of be us and everybody do what you can do individually, and that's good enough. So, and I thought we did that.
How do you feel about your team? I know it's so early. We're only a week into the season, but Coach Goodling and I were talking during the broadcast. We saw you in this situation a season ago, right off the bat early on, and you guys became a great team down the stretch. Obviously get to an LL final, get to districts on. Do you feel like you're playing better basketball early in the season this year compared to last?
I wouldn't say that. I think we had probably a lot less fall athletes that need to get their legs under them. We have a lot of football players that had a successful season, so we're definitely an unfinished product right now. I think over the last probably 4 or 5 days, our football guys really started to get their legs. And that's something we knew was going to take a little time. So those guys just finally getting in a basketball groove is going to take us to another level where we know we can get. So.
Obviously, Ben Mann not being there tonight was a factor for them. They don't have the size, shorter bench, but you guys came out, you utilized your bench to the most you could. You brought Chase in there in the first half. No selfishness on the floor. Everybody sharing the ball. I mean, the way you guys played offense in this game, and everybody getting a little piece of it here and there, and then, you know, McCracken might have a stretch, or Tate might have a stretch, or somebody has a stretch, but the way you pieced all that together and everybody gets a chance to share the entire pie was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, one of our keys is trust pretty much every game, and trust the guy beside you, trust the guys coming off the bench, trust everybody that gets in the game, and they all know what each other can do, and if we trust everybody, trust the coaching staff making the calls, trust each other, it's a huge benefit to our team being able to play unselfishly because we don't accept anything less, basically. So
good schedule coming up: Hempfield, Cedar Crest, McCaskey, over Christmas, Garden Spot, and Lancaster Catholic. So you're going to be pretty tested before you get into Section 2 play full time. Yeah,
it's early. The way the schedule's set up in the league, it's an early test, especially if your crossovers are up a level. So obviously we're 6A. We were in that same section with all these guys 2 years ago, so we're pretty familiar with what they do and what we need to do to get ourselves in a position to win a game. So but we're excited to get going next week, take the day tomorrow off, and just prepare for the grind of a 3-game week.
All right, congratulations to you tonight on a big win. That is Warwick head coach Chris Christensen. They're victorious here tonight, 57-41 over Manheim Township. We'll run down the final scoring for you here. For Township first, JT Weaver got in the book. He had 2 points. I'm just going to add these up as we go here. Dan Angle finished with 8. 6 for Seth Miller. He came off a 26-point performance against Exeter a couple of nights ago. 6 for Seifert. Oldock finished tonight with 7, with 8, I beg your pardon. And then 6 for Mickey Stokes. And again, Ben Mann not here tonight, so he was not available for Manheim Township tonight, which was a big loss for them in the paint, especially as they got really out-hustled on the glass, especially in the second half. Mann probably would have had somewhat of an impact in this game if he was here. So he'll be back after his recruiting visit. That's 6'5", Ben Mann. So that tells you, I mean, with Warwick not having a lot of height, that's a big factor in these kind of games.
It can change a lot, definitely, especially defensively around the basket.
14 tonight for Joey McCracken, 11 for Tate Landis, who you just heard from, 5 for Chase Yarborough, 3 for Connor Adams. The other guy, Kai Capella, comes right off the bat, hits 3 threes here tonight, 15 points. He was tremendous. And then Caleb Schmitz only goes 1 for 4 from the free throw line with 9 points, but again, a big factor underneath for this Warwick team. Good balance across the board scoring.
Yeah, Schmidt gave them that inside scoring. They didn't have to rely on jumpers or dribble penetration, but he got some baskets in the paint, which you need to do during basketball games. So very important.
Warwick goes to 3-1 on the season, and they're back in action against Hempfield on Monday night for Township. They'll be back with their crossover against E-Town. That comes your way on Monday night as well. So a couple of really interesting crossovers for both these teams. Chris Christensen just talked about it a minute ago about the tough schedule and their crossovers being up a level. So we'll see how these two teams do, but a lot at stake here coming up in the next few weeks. They both have really tricky schedules over the Christmas holiday, but it all adds up tonight to a Warwick victory, 57-41. They go to 3-1, and Manheim Township falls to 1-3. So that's going to do it for us here tonight from Warwick High School. For everybody working behind the scenes here, Bruce Badgley's running our camera right now that you see us on, Del Jackson, Lewis, everybody else, for my partner Warren Goodling. We will talk to you on January 10th. That is our next broadcast. We'll have Hempfield and Manheim Township, so we're off for the Christmas holiday. We come back at you January 10th, and we will talk to you then. Have a great rest of the weekend. Take care, and bye-bye.